RTO here. Hope you're all well. Lovely winter's morning here in Northampton. The sun is shining, blue skies, and a frosty fin start. So it's a little bit chilly this morning, but I've got plenty of warm things to keep us going. So another album ranking today, and this is like a super group type thing. A band put together by Russell Allen, of course, of Symphony X, and former Masterplan vocalist Iain Lande. Now, I got into these by a very good friend of mine. She loves her. She was the person that really got me into the Scandinavian style rock music. She got me into a lot of bands actually, and she played me this and it blew me out of the water. The first album, which we'll be talking about in a minute. So I've been a fan from then. So they've only made 4 albums. There is another one out that Alan's done with someone else, and I'm sure we'll be looking at that very soon. So let's have a look at these 4 albums. Basically, the musicians are on here. For 3 of them are just Russell Allen, Iain Lande, Magnus Carlsson, and Jamie Salzar. And there's a couple of people that come in on the last album that them two made. So let's get started. So coming in at number 4, we have the very first album of Allen and Lande, released in 2005, called The Battle. And on here we've got Russell Allen lead and backing vocals, Iain Lande on lead and backing vocals, Magnus Carlsson guitars, bass, guitar and keyboards, and Jamie Salzar on the drums. First track is called Another Battle. It's just got that typical opening for progressive rock metal. The lovely keyboards and the guitar riffs coming in, absolutely brilliant. And I get the vocals from Lande and Allen are just fantastic. It's a good hard-hitting opening track. Second track is called Hunter's Night. Great vocals from both guys. Solid rock track. It's got some great riffs in it, some great drumming, absolutely stonking track. Wish for a Miracle, lovely work on here from Magnus Carlsson. What a musician. He's playing all the major instruments. He's a very talented guy, and it's some great drumming as well from Jamie Salzar. Reach a Little Longer. It's got that typical keyboard piano sound of off a progressive metal song. Lovely, clear and crystal, fantastic. And we get to my favourite track on this album, Come Alive. It's got them classic progressive metal power riffs. Great vocals from Russell Allen on this, absolutely at the top draw. Best track on the album, The Truth About Our Time, another solid track. Great vocal harmonies from Allen and Lande, fantastic track. My Own Way Home, this is a song solely sung by Iain Lande, fantastic. What a voice. He sings a little bit higher than Russell. He's really got a strong vocal, absolutely brilliant track. Ask You Away, Ask You Anyway, great track. Lovely vocal here from Russell Allen. It sounds absolutely brilliant, straight out of a Symphony X style singing. Silent Rage, tremendous drumming here from Jamie Salzar, solid track. Where All the Angels Have Gone, it's got that signature of a Scandinavian rock band. and the vocals here from Lande are fantastic. Universe of Light, heavy riffs again, strong bass line, fantastic drumming, fantastic singing, great song. The Forgotten Ones, it's got some great guitar work here from Magnus Carlsen, and again some super vocals. Great debut album this is, stonking stuff. Loved it from the minute I heard it. It's like all these albums, they're not bad, and there's not a bad album, there's not a bad track. They're all brilliant tracks. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.2. Okay, then coming in at number 7, we have the second album, released in 2007, The Revenge. Again, it's got Russell Allen, Iain Lande, Magnus Carlsen and Jamie Salzar. Opens up with the title track called The Revenge. Pretty solid start to this album. Fantastic bass line that drives this song. Pretty good. Second track is Obsessed. Oh, what a riff. Whoa. Strong, screechy. And top it off with a fantastic guitar solo. And then you put Jamie Salzar's drumming on top and it's solid. What, two guys making great music. Fantastic track. Victory. The harmonies from Allen and Lande on this are fantastic. Their different pitches suit each other and they work well together. This is a fantastic track. Master of Sorrow. This is a ballad. The bass line on here is fantastic. It's a good strong rock ballad. Top drawer stuff. Will You Follow, solid rock track. Jamie Salzar is on fire on the drums on that track. Very tight drummer. Just a Dream. Love this track. Lots of guitar shredding on this. Brilliant stuff. Her Spell, great track. Lovely vocal from Iain Lande. Just can't go wrong. Wake Up Call. I love this track. My favourite track on the album actually. I love the keyboard sound that gives you that full orchestral crescendo. Superb stuff. Under the Waves, another strong track. Drumming on this is just out of your mind. You can really hear that double bass drum thumping along. Great track. Who Can You Trust? Again, one of them dramatic starts with the orchestra, some great riffs coming through, and then the drumming starts. It's brilliant. What Time Doesn't Heal, another great ballad, and it's the last track on the album. Another superb album. Ranking these four was so hard because I love every single album. You just forget it's one guy actually doing the bulk of the musicianship. Magnus Carlsen, what a guy. So I'm going to give this album an RTO ranking of 9.3. Okay, coming at number 2 we have the fourth and final album between Allen and Lande, called The Great Divide, released in 2014. We've got a change up here. We've still got Russell Allen and Iain Lande, of course, and we've got Timo Tolkki on guitars, bass and keyboards, and Yami Huvanian, if that's how we pronounce it, on drums. First track on here, Come and Dream With Me. Great guitar work here from Timo Tolkki. So much like this sounds so Nightwish, it's unreal, but it's brilliant. Down from the Mountain, great riffs in this from Timo Tolkki, great drumming from Yami. Fantastic track, really strong track. All in the Hands of Time. Oh, Russell Allen's vocal on this is stonking. Great performance from all involved, of course. Solid ground, right ripping track this is. Great vocals from Iain Lande, heavy as hell. Great stuff. Lady of the Winter, the piano work at this is so delicate, but then you get them powered riffs. Awesome, awesome stuff. Dream About Tomorrow, a little bit different. This is a little bit more funky in places, but it's still heavy metal. I just love it. Then we get my favourite track, the title track, The Great Divide. Oh, this is just unbelievable. It's a power ballad with strong drumming, and the guitar solo is absolutely a killer. Awesome stuff. Reaching for the Stars, another great song. What a bass line this has got. Drives the song along. And the last track, Bittersweet, another killer. Absolutely power metal at it, progressive metal at its best. Okay, we had a change in personnel, but it didn't lose any quality. I think Timo Tolkki and Yami Yuvanian did a sterling job on this album. You couldn't tell the difference at all, really. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.4. So the number one, released in 2010, it was the last album that featured Magnus Carlsson and Jamie Salzar. It's the Showdown. So we got Russell, Iain, Magnus, Jamie, and a guest star on this on the piano, Jesper Gustafsson. So opens up with the title track, The Showdown. Love Jamie Salzar's drumming on this. It's deep, then bass drums are pumping away. Great bass line from Carlsson. Terrific song. Then we get my favourite track on the album. It's one of my favourite tracks on the album, Judgment Day. I love the operatic sounding on this. The riffs are so strong. The vocals are just blow your mind away. Absolutely brilliant. Never Again, stonking. Heavy, hard, progressive Scandinavian rock. Turn All Into Gold. Again, the vocals of Allen Lande on here are just terrific. Probably one of the best songs they sung together. Right out the top drawer. Bloodlines, absolutely solid track. Heavy and a fantastic solo from Magnus Carlsson. One of his best on these albums he made. Corpus, a great power ballad here. Strong riffs. You can feel the force as he goes down on them strings. Absolutely brilliant. We Will Rise Again, just full of great riffs and keyboard runs. Drumming from Salzar is brilliant. The Guardian, really great bass line, really heavy driving bass line on this track. Absolutely stonking. Maya, love the vocal from Russell Allen on this. Superb singing, just on a great rock track. The Artist, again, this is Iain Lande singing vocals all on his own. A fantastic track. And they leave the best track to the last track on the album, Eternity. So the delicate piano from this Jesper Gustafsson, whatever his name is, awesome. You can just about hear it, but it just adds an extra layer. The operatic style of this song, and a great solo. What can you say? This is an absolute monster. I think it's the best performance by Magnus Carlsen. I think it's the best performance of Russell Allen and Iain Lande as well. And that's why it's my number one. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, if you've never ever heard these, go and check them out. If you like Symphony X and if you like your Scandinavian rock music, go and check these out. They are great albums. I've put a couple of tracks from each of these albums in a playlist. I've put, so you've got your little very best of Russell Allen and Iain Lande. There is another album that he's done, and he's done it with also former Nightwish singer Olsen, can't remember her first name, which we'll be looking at in a few weeks' time, and that's a good album as well. Okay, got retro ranking later today. This week we're doing Squeeze, really good band from the late 70s, mid 80s. Terrific songwriters, terrific songs, catchy tunes. So we'll be looking at that. So until then, I will see you later. Bye for now.